I'm just trying to save you from yourselves, that's all. Or the people that are like losing it. John Frenzy isn't. Let's bring him in on the phone line from his palatial South Regina estate. How you doing, Frenzy?
I'm doing great, Rod. How are you doing?
Good. We're doing great. I forwarded your topics list to DuPont because we know what you want to talk about. But you just mentioned how much Rider fans are missing their Riders. And, of course, you know, Frenzy, that they wouldn't have started here anyways. Training camps weren't set to open up until middle of next month. But you think that this will be a real downer if there's no Rider football?
Driving crazy. I'm going nuts. I'm talking to him now all the time. I said, what am I going to do? I've never done this in my life. I'm not 18 years old. I've been to 17 training camps with Riders. I mean, the guys, they just can't believe it. It's going to be a real downer. Some sick people. They'll have some, they'll go to the hospital, heart attacks. I hope not. But it'll be quite an experience. I don't know what they'll do because it'll be nothing in the summer. That's all they live for as a Rider fans. They're like me. They live for the Riders. And if they don't have them, it's going to be unbelievable. And I think there's a good chance we won't have them.
This is turning into one long therapy session, I'm realizing, too. Because, you know, there's nothing more in John's life than CFL football and the Riders, right? So this creates a problem for people like that.
Yeah.
You know? John, how many people are there? I mean, what you talking to your friends around town and, of course, across the CFL? I mean, are they planning for life without a CFL this summer, or are they hoping for the best? You know, what are your friends saying?
Oh, listen, I'll be honest with you. Most of them are facing into this really good. Most of them, all of them, believe there won't be a CFL. They don't think it will be. They don't think it will be solved, and I don't either. They're going to talk a lot about it, but I don't think it will be. And I don't want to see them start it and try to do it, then fall apart in the middle of July or something like that. If it looks bad, we're just going to have to cancel it. Maybe. I honestly looking at it. John Lynch is saying it'll be Labor Day weekend. That's my prediction.
Oh, you're not the first to say that. You know, Tom Hagen said the other day that he thought at worst it'll be a 9-game season. But I think people, John, just hang on. I got to tell our viewers, the ones that are watching from Norway to New York to Honolulu, that John is not joking. And after the 13th man in 2009 Grey Cup, where the Riders screwed themselves out of a championship, there was a heart attack. A man had a heart attack outside the stadium, a Rider fan. So John's actually right about that. But John, you understand that life will go on if there's no Rough Riders football. You understand that, right?
It will. Somehow it will go on. A lot of people will go out to Fort Capel. Around my cottage area out there, laying the beach. You know that. It's beautiful out there. Yeah, I don't know what fans will do. They try to play other games. I hope there's not problems, you know, maritally and robbers-wise and murders and like that. But it'll be quite sad. A lot of them they'll walk around the stadium a lot every night. They'll wander down that area over there, and it'll be a very sad scene to see.
Wow.
Yeah.
Darren, you jump in any time. Lynch thinks that there might be divorces, murders, heart attacks, and hospitalizations if there's no Rough Riders football. I just want to make sure that our social media guy, Tyler, is writing this all down. Go ahead.
Well, John, I want to know, what are you keeping busy with in your days? Because, I mean, as much as you love Rider football, you love coming in here, you know, going for coffees, doing all of those things. So this is kind of like a preview for that. So how are you keeping busy?
All going nuts. Margaret and I are going nuts. Getting along pretty well, honestly. But, guys, we're playing different games. We play. Get this one, guys. Snakes and ladders. You ever play that?
Whoa.
Snakes and ladders. Can you
That's
bet?
taking it back.
We play checkers. We do a lot of reading. We look around the house, wander around the house, play a little hockey downstairs. She's got a stick, I got a stick. She goes in goal, and I shoot her from that one. And the other, you know what my basement's like. And then we sit and watch a lot of television. Both American and Canadian. Can't get over Donald Trump's attitude. Trump can't believe this is happening in his era, and he can't make it. He can't correct it. So it's funny to watch him. But it's interesting. It's tough. But it's only been 2.5 weeks. I think for sure we're going to go with all the people. Don't you?
Oh, yeah.
That we're going to do what? Go to what? To autumn? What did you
April.
Like in a year?
We're going to have one more month for sure. April,
oh, yeah. I see what we're saying. And, John, thank you, by the way, for coming on because you've provided a lot of entertainment for everybody here. I appreciate that. moving on, by the way, I'm just reading comments. It's blowing my mind
Time
what
out.
people are saying about this.
How do we move on from John and Margaret playing mini stick
Oh, yeah, I was
hockey
going to
in the
say,
basement?
John Lynch and his wife are playing mini sticks in the basement to fill time. Right there in itself is why we brought Lynch on today. But, John, moving forward, let me ask you this. I know it's not in the 5 topics that you sent me, but if it goes to 9 games, how does that affect your beloved Rough Riders in terms of their roster makeup and as opposed to an 18-game season? Does that favor them or hinder them?
Oh, it favors them all the way. They got a terrific football team. You got to give Jeremy O'Day credit for putting together a terrific football team, getting all the free agents signed up, and the stars that he got picked up, the imports he picked up. Cyrus Cove. Yeah, I mean, how about picking up him? 6'7", 368 pounds. University of Alabama All-American. Drafted by the NFL second round by Denver, I believe it was. And, I mean, he's a real fine football player. I don't know how we got him. He's a great offensive tackle. I mean, he'll be fantastic at offensive tackle. That's a new guy they got. And I imagine Thompson had a lot to do with Pat Thompson, our scout in the States, had a lot to do with that. And then how about Rashad Green? He runs that 9.43 40 from Florida State. Got all the records in the receiver for touchdowns, for receptions, for yardage gained. Been in the NFL for 4 years. We got him too. He'll help our receiving. Not that we need much help at receiving, but those are 2 guys they picked up. And then how about Franklin? Some guy said to me, we should have got Benny Franklin. Why didn't we get Ben? I said, no, we got Jamie. Jamie Franklin. And you look at his background, what he's done. He's an outstanding quarterback. We got 2 outstanding quarterbacks. We're in good shape.
Lynch, one of my show topics yesterday was, do you envision a quarterback controversy with the Saskatchewan Roughriders in 2020? I'll put that to you. Could you see that happening?
Definitely. Read this guy's write-up. Read it right up. Just go look at it. Do yourself a favor. I mean, he was sensational in Missouri. I mean, Rod, 2 years ago, you and I talked about this guy every day. The Riders wanted him badly when he's in Edmonton, eh? But he slipped away and went to Toronto and went through that layer up there. But you know how badly Coach Jones wanted to bring him here. Now we get him 2 years later. No, he's a terrific football player. There definitely will be a quarterback controversy and legitimate. These are 2 top-notch quarterbacks. Cody Fajardo is just fantastic, and Jamie Franklin is too. And it's smart. I mean, look at Winnipeg. If Collaros goes down, they're done, right? And how about Calgary? If our good friend, what's his name up there, number 91, your buddy up there, if he goes down, they're done. Bo Levi goes down, they're done. Who's their quarterback behind him?
Dakota Prukop they signed, but I know what you're saying, Frenzy. And by the way, the Riders don't normally like quarterback controversies. At this point, I think they'd take it because it would mean that they're back playing football. Frenzy, one of your points, I got him out here on my phone. You said, can pinball do it again? New Argo imports don't impress. What do you expect out of the Double Blue in Toronto this year?
I went and looked at on the paper with the new imports there. I can't believe how poor they are. He let the good guys go. He's cocky. He's little pinball, figures he can do it again. Bring guys in. He's a pinball. He'll bring guys in. He let the good guys go. He's bringing a bunch of guys there. There's only one guy I recognize, and that's what Koki, somebody, a running back from the University of Washington. Oh, I asked our good friend Tillman about it. He said he's a good football player, but Tillman agrees too. That's about the only good player they got there, and that's Clements. On his cockiness, figures he can do it. Figures he can do it again, but he's not going to be able to do it again. I don't think he's doing it here. He's cocky, figures he can do it, but no, he's been out of the league too long. It's 5 or 6 years, and it's going to be very embarrassing.
Lynch, you have a take on the Atlantic Schooners and also Touchdown Atlantic. Just talk about Halifax football overall and what you know and think about out there.
You know, I know the mayor now is down there with his chat with Madison. I forget his name. He wants to bring it in. Now, they've got the thing sold out, legitimately sold out. Now, I don't know if that's all Rough Rider fans or not. I think that's a lot of Rough Rider fans, but certainly not 10,000. There's enthusiasm. They're going to have a big deal. They're going to have a big celebration out there. They really want to make this a great success. The guys I talked to, the mayor, another councilman, I forget Autry. I think his name is Gene Autry. Not Gene Autry.
Gene Autry?
Really wants it to go well because they really want to bring football to Halifax. I said, well, get off your ass and do something. They went out and brought the lacrosse league in. You know that? You know they got a team in the lacrosse league?
The Halifax Thunderbirds.
Huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, so they're a big city. You have 400,000 people there. They should be able to make this happen. So they're going to have a big deal for this. It's going to be a big thing on television. I hope the Argos put on a half-decent show because I think we're going to wallop them. We're going to wallop a lot of people this year, by the way, guys, with our offense. Our offense will be unreal. Anyway, I think that they're going to be serious about it. Afterwards, they'll go ahead. Then they'll go ahead with, but only for the 12,000 seats, they say, though. And that's going to be stupid. Eh? 12,000 seats and a bunch of, on the other side, coffee, cardboard tables, and guys just sitting on the side for the season. That they can't do it that way. They got to go for the 20,000 first crack, don't you think?
Well, yeah, I'd like to see that. But you know what, John? They probably would have if it wasn't for the pandemic, because that's now the last thing that they're thinking about. Am I right?
Oh, sure. Oh, sure, that thing is going to, oh, yeah, that thing, I mean, yeah, and now that's going to affect all the games. How many people are going to the games? So, supposing they say the pandemic's over, then how many people do you think will go to the games even after that? Will they fill a park? I don't know.
That's where I would say, Frenzy, I'm glad you brought that up. I will say, hey, if we're back playing football and people are on the fence whether they're going to go or not, leave that to us. The media and the marketing people. We'll convince them to go. We'll sell them on going if it's safe to go. Leave that to us. Let's just get back to playing football. Is that fair?
I would hope. I really hope it happens. I hope somebody comes along at the end of April here. So let's go, guys. Let's just go out and do it. Like, it's a very serious thing. It's not as serious as some people think it is in Saskatchewan, I don't think, but I think Saskatchewan people have done very well in preparing for it. I mean, people everywhere you go, they're walking. They got social distance. They got 6 feet between them in the stores. You got to line up 6 feet behind the guy in front of you. They got a big X there. So we've done a good job of keeping people and a non-contact thing. But we're not used to that in Saskatchewan. We like to contact our friends. You know?
Yes, and we're also used to having space too. You know, we don't know what it's like in the major centers, and that's the way that it is. Frenzy, we're going to let you go. People have loved this so much. Maybe next week I'll communicate with your wife, and we'll get you on video, and we can make it happen that way. What do you say?
Yeah, whatever you want to do. You want to come over here with the camera?
Well, we'll figure it out, man. It's a week away. Why did I bring this up? We'll figure it out. Frenzy, have a great day.
Okay, talk to you next week, then. Bye-bye.
That's a real person, folks. And you know that. Jack Fulton again in Calgary writes in. He says, I want to be the first to say the RP show should retire Frenzy's broadcasting jersey. Greatest of all time. Riders actually, I shouldn't say the Riders, Jim Hobson presented John with a jersey upon his retirement from broadcasting. We had it at the Chimney. We had a ceremony. That's the kind of guy Jim Hobson is. I can't remember the number on it, but I think it was 66, which was the year Lynch started broadcasting.
Wow.
No, it was 69, right, Clark? Because we did a jersey here for him with number 69 on it, which he brought home, and his wife was disgusted. And Clark had to go, no, we put it on there because that was the year he started broadcasting. Right. She thought we were making some sort of cruel joke. And it was funny, Clark says. John O'Flynn is watching in North Vancouver. He says, it's the first time I've ever heard the man. I love it. John's been watching within the last week. He's got a lot of catching up to do. I just got to say this for all of our viewers that don't know. A lot do, but a lot don't. John Lynch and my dad graduated together, Luther High School, same class, 1955. And my dad was a, what do you call it, resident or he lived on campus?
Yep.
Lynch didn't. He lived at home with his parents. So with 2 to 3 months left in the school year, Lynch called the fire department, the police department, pizza delivery, Chinese food delivery, everything to arrive, ambulances to arrive at the same time at Luther campus, just to cause chaos. And the principal, this was on a Friday night, and on the Monday, the principal called a school assembly and said, I want to know who did this, who's responsible. Until I find out, everybody's grounded, nobody's leaving the campus. Lynch didn't care because he was living at home with his parents, so he didn't own up to it. And my dad, to the day he died, never forgave Lynch for that.
Oh, my.
1955, Darren.
That's incredible.
Does that sound like something Lynch would do?
Oh, yeah.
Of course it is.
I've heard some of those stories of him and your dad going around chasing tail.
Whoa. Can you say that? We used to double date. To reiterate, John Lynch is, if there's no Riders football, has predicted murders, divorces, hospitalizations, heart attacks.
Oh, yeah.
And to fill time, he's playing mini sticks with his wife.
Checkers, snakes, and ladders. And they even got the sticks. They go down in the basement. Oh, man. How old's John?
82.
Yeah.
From Joe Lazito in New York, he says, Frenzy is an international treasure. Now, listen, if you understand now the relationship between Lynch and my family, please don't get offended when I say this. But my other brother, Reed, he's not the cowboy. He's the business guy in town. He says, Lynch is a treasure, all right. Should be buried. It's a joke, okay? We all needed the laugh. Can we cut the whole segment, guys? For later on in post-production?
Post-production, we cut in the audio clip. We're sending it downstairs. They're going to create the cartoon of them in the basement playing.
I can see the meme now. John
Exactly.
Lynch, murders, divorces, if there's no Rider football. Cooper Campbell is watching in Mississippi. He's a football guy. He says, I got to ask John if he remembers one of my favorite quarterbacks I saw growing up by former Rider Joe 747 Adams. Cooper, it's not just Lynch. They talk about Joe 747 Adams in this town to this day. You've heard people talk about Joe 747 Adams?
Yep, I've heard the name.
Some said he should have been called Joe 711 Adams because every time he dropped back to pass, all the defenders took a big gulp.
Oh, that's good.
They still talk about Joe 747 Adams. So I think we needed the chuckle there with Lynch. And I'll say it again. I was trying to explain to him that nobody that's not full-time staff here was not allowed inside the bunker. Told him 3 times. And he kept saying, it doesn't make sense. And I just didn't think he'd be able to set up the video like Abu has done and Rempel has done and all of our guests have done. He's got a flip phone. Technically, he can't.
No, he can't.
But I know that his wife, who's a real estate agent, far younger than Lynch, that shouldn't surprise you, she's got an iPhone. So we could technically make it happen, but there's some sort of old school fondness to him being on the phone, is there not?
There is.
Yes,
there is. Yeah. You know, it's pretty great. It is. It's a little bit of that old school, fondness. I like that. It's a good way to put it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed having him on the phone. I wasn't sure how it was going to go, to be honest. You know, you have enough. It's enough of a task to keep him, on the straight and narrow at the best of times when you can see him and cut him off. But on the phone, you can't even communicate hand signals to him or anything. It went well.
Metal Shingle guy writes in on the Prairie Mobile text line. He says, "I'm laughing so hard." Thanks, John. That's from Metal Shingle guy. Cooper Campbell goes on to say, wow, Joe 747 could really sling it. I think because it's long before my time, but I think they called him Joe 747 because of the arm that he had.
Yeah.
He did have, from the stories that I heard, a checkered past, a checkered history here. It's been close to 40 years, so I think I can say it now. Think I can say that? From Joe Gunnis, our business manager, Joe Brokendoe, who's checking in from Moose Jaw, is if we get Frenzy on live next week, we need to see at least one period of the mini stick game. He said they're playing mini sticks.
I can't believe that.
Have you seen his basement?
No.
You technically could. And I'll just say this before Michael Gregory's watching in New Orleans, Louisiana. Move over, Joe Exotic. We've got John Exotic. Who's doing the Photoshop? Lynch's head on a tiger.
Oh, man. We got to get that.
Lynch is home, by the way. Lynch is home. I'll take you there sometime.
Yeah.
He's got a poster of me and him at his desk on the wall, the two of us together.
Whoa.
And I have a copy of it too. I should bring it in here and maybe put it up on the wall.
Cool.
So he is like family to our family. So do you ever rib your family a little bit? Roast them a little bit?
Yeah.
That's what we do. People say, you're so hard on John. Next hour, Gene Mikowski and Matthew Shinetti. We got to get out of here for hour one. It's a Football Friday. Rod Pedersen Show continues after this break. Facebook Live coming this spring to Game Plus TV Network, and listen live at rodpedersen.com.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.